105.7 The Point, Everything Alternative, Backstage Big Summer Show number 5. Ladies and gentlemen, Catfish and The Bottlemen have joined me. How's it going, guys?
All good, man. We just
Epic.
Had great show, isn't it?
I decided something tonight during your set. All right, and I know that this is going to take some working, and there's some legalities here involved. I realized not only do I want to be in a band, but I specifically want to be in your band.
Thank you very much.
No. But here's the thing.
Samies.
I don't have a lot to offer. I can't sing. I can't play an instrument. I'm not particularly organized, so I don't really have a lot to offer. But I figured maybe you needed a bald guy in the band.
Sound like our tour manager.
Probably replace me. Be fine.
I mean, like I say, I'm willing to help out however in which that I can. But what a great set from you guys tonight.
Thank you very much. Me and Bondi were talking about this the other day. Like, since having all these meet and greets, we get a lot of people telling us how many that they've started a band because of it. So it's strange, isn't it? It's exciting. It's quality.
It happened just there, and that sort of means more than anything, really, because it reminds you of when you were in that same point, you know.
Yeah. I mean, that's the high. I mean, that's like the highest honor.
Yeah, well,
I would think.
Yeah, that like being told by somebody that you've admired, or hearing like just a crowd member say that, oh, I met my girlfriend because of this, or this reminds me of that, or do you know things that the songs have touched people in some kind of way, just to make people get up and feel something is what the goal was, the aim was. So it's good to hear it. The feedback is that.
Well, we got a bunch to chat with you about, but you're one of those bands. The people have a lot of positive things to say. These guys are on the verge of and all that kind of stuff, which is great.
Thank you.
And a great honor. But there's some responsibility. That's a little daunting when somebody has that kind of high expectations. How do you sort of appreciate it, but then not like let it? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like how do you sort of handle that kind of thing?
I guess. It's always been simple for us because we've always been a band about just the songs. It's always been as easy as just write good songs, deliver them like year in, year out. Keep trying to be consistent, give consistent performances and stuff. It's just all about being a band. I think a lot of other people deal with it differently because they don't quite get it. I mean, it's really simple if you keep it the way we started, which was just playing because you love music. We write songs because we love it. We wake up, sit and listen to music together all day. Go on stage, buzzing, come off stage, put music back on. It's simple, really. It's just all we've got to do is deliver good songs consistently for people. So, and we like doing that. So it's.
I think as a band, we sort of very much exist within our own bubble as well, and like the sort of pressures and things don't really get through that. We just sort of do our own thing anyway, and it would be the same regardless of whatever pressures.
There's never really pressure when it's this. You see the reaction so. Good, exciting. Everyone's so excited about it. So you come on, there's no pressure because everyone's beaming. Nobody's sat there like that. Like everyone, when we come out now, we've picked up a bit of a fan base. It's easy. It's just it's as easy as going to bed for us. It's just the best feeling in the world. It's quality, good crack, very good laugh.
I didn't mean to interrupt you now. When we had you back in town, or back earlier in the year, you were already talking then about the second album.
Yeah.
And I've heard some things. I've heard that you're in LA when you can and recording there. And I also heard, and please correct me if I'm wrong here, that you wrote the album in a weekend.
Yeah, like I was saying to you about.
Seriously, that's incredible. Man.
It's just we love it. We know when you know exactly what you want. The songs just fell out. The thing was, I always had Dave Sardi, the guy who's producing it. I always had him as the idea for the second record, even when we were kids and we were back in the van, and we didn't even have an album together. The first one, I was going, this guy should do our next one. When we were playing Sardi records. So I wrote all the demos with a little clip at the start saying, Dave, I want this one to be a bit like this, sound a bit like the Phonics at the end, or this at the end, or whatever, and sent them to him, and he'd not been inspired by a band for ages, been saying no to loads of records, and he got these 11 tracks and flew over to England. I wrote in a weekend, he's learnt it in a weekend, he flew over to London, heard it, flew back 2 days early because he was convinced, and we're away now. Any week we get, we just keep adding bits on, so it'll be done, after this tour.
So, I mean, do we have any kind of timeline as far as when we might hear it? I don't mean to be greedy, but no, I'm really kind of ready.
Only because of strategy. It's, label strategy and stuff. It's good for us because we had a staggered release last year where we did the album in the UK and then it came out in America. But this year, the label is getting so excited about it that they're joining together and they're going to release it at the same time. So I think, not too long after the new year, really quick. We're gonna try and keep coming quick with the albums every 2 years, something like that. Deliver an album every year or two.
Phonics.
It's like our bands did. You were talking before about how easy it is. It's just, we know the gap that we were missing as music fans. You know, we used to go to all these shows and these meet and greets. We love it. You sit there for hours, people come in and asking you to sign stuff. It's quality, so it's too good of a life to feel pressure from it. You know what I mean? It's bliss. It's quality. It's just great.
I've been dying to ask you guys about this since I saw the video. I am a huge, like, almost sort of like on the borderline of fanatical, like, Ewan McGregor fan. I mean, dude was Obi-Wan, for God's sake, which is enough for me. But, I mean, he was in the video for you guys and did such a great job singing the track. How did that all come about? I mean, I guess one of your management guys obviously goes to his management and all that sort of thing. But
it kind of started with us needing a video for Kathleen. Obviously, back then we had no budget or anything, so Van knocked together a compilation of Ewan McGregor laughing, pretty much. And I don't know, I guess fans must have sent it on Twitter and stuff, and he ended up getting in contact with us. And I don't really know what happened then. We met him in New York for breakfast, because he became a fan somehow through that. But
that's pretty amazing too, I would think. You know what I mean?
It was just weird going across, like, you know, looking across the breakfast place and seeing Ewan McGregor was the one that was flagging you over. Do you know what I mean?
Hey, we're right here.
He just used to one of us going, "We're sat here, mate," but it was Ewan, and we're like, "Shit, he looks like he does in the film." Do you know what I mean? Sorry, you can't swear on the radio. Is this radio?
It's all right. No, we're not live. We can edit it in post.
But yeah, it was great. But he's really, we always say he's the most interesting and interested guy we've ever met. He was all he wanted to talk about was music with us, and all we wanted to talk about was, you know, lightsabers and train spotting, you know.
Right.
Like that thing.
Right.
Big Fish. Have you seen Big Fish?
Oh, that's absolutely.
That's the reason
one
why
of
I
my
love him.
favorites.
I love it.
What's such an amazing movie? That's one of those movies that you know, you can watch a million times
Yeah,
in a row
yeah.
and never get tired of it. I just showed it
Storytelling.
to my daughter for the first time, and that was a huge.
My dad showed it me, and he used to tell me stories about my granddad, so it's very, like, you know, familiar to me. I love it.
That's
Good
awesome.
film.
All right, so let's do this. I want to go through the line. I want to talk to everybody about this particular last question, and then I'm going to let you guys go and enjoy your evening. A lot has happened since we've seen you earlier in the year. Lots of festivals, lots of shows. Give me a highlight. And you can take a second to think, because I know being put on the spot is never an easy thing, but just something that, like, sticks out as a, oh my God, I can't believe, or just you know, just something that was really, really cool that's happened somewhere along the way.
Well, I feel it might be the same for all of us, but like the Reading and Leeds back at home, I'm glad you asked me first, because I've got dibs on that one now. So, so yeah, I'm going to say Reading and Leeds just because it's so big for us at home. You know, it's kind of a, I don't know, it's the one.
What kind of crowd are you playing to when you're playing those?
What was the tent like? 25,000. It was something ridiculous. And then it was splitting out, you know, out the sides. And so, yeah. Bizarre.
That's what I heard, because the tent was packed, and then there was, like, still, like, they thought like 10,000 people outside of the tent.
We had loads of, like, complaints on Twitter and that, saying, like, we couldn't even hear you, we were stuck outside the tent. It was like, you know, it's not our fault they put us on that stage, is it?
Next year. All right.
I'm sort of torn between two things. That it's sort of achievement-wise, I love to go into Japan earlier in the year and sort of seeing what goes on, what has been going on there, because you're not really aware of it unless you're actually in the country. Mm-hmm. So that was really nice. And also we did a support tour with the Kooks in February in Australia, and that just felt like a holiday. Yeah. It was so, like, relaxed. It was a gig, 2-3 days off, getting to go to beaches and things like that. That was a really great time. So between them two.
Yeah, not to mention the Kooks are flipping fantastic on top of it.
Yeah,
lovely guys. Yeah.
The new stuff, they've proper grooving. Like, we had just perfect for where we were, playing amphitheatres in Australia. It's good. My one, I think recently going out, we had a month in LA with Sardi. You know, we got out there, and that going to his house and we're just recording, knowing what we're onto, and everyone's so, because none of the label have heard it. Nobody's heard it except us for our little crew and stuff like that. And our little close Nick is so excited, but everyone else is just hearing what we're telling them, and we're like, it's gonna destroy the last album. You're gonna be embarrassed about that band you signed. I can't believe you signed those when you had this band coming. You know what I mean? Like, so, just the idea of knowing that what we've got in that little, well, not little, but his place in LA, we're cooking up something good there. So I just keep waking up with this feeling of, like, we've got. I feel like we're a support band, and the band that we're about to come out as is the headline band, and our fans are acting like we're an arena band now. You know, the way they react at the gigs. So it's just exciting for us to see where it could go.
Yeah,
now.
Absolutely so.
I'd say other than Reading and Leeds, like Bob said, I'd say Glastonbury was a highlight just because of how we managed to pull it off with Van and Bondi, with ill with food poisoning, and it was like all the gear was broken because it started raining the second we got on stage and that. But seeing the reaction of the crowd, even despite that, and then the reaction online, you know, it was like the most shared act or something like that. It was just like the fact that in our heads it was a mess and that everyone else, you know, didn't even notice. That was something pretty cool.
Wow, that is awesome. I'll tell you what, you know, ever since the Firebird show earlier in the year, I've been waving the flag of Catfish and the Bottlemen as high and as loud as I humanly possibly can, and I really look forward to the next album.
Mate, thank you very much.
Catfish and the Bottlemen, thank you very much for your
Pleasure.
time. Backstage,
Thank you.
Point Big Summer Show #5.